Hello everyone, welcome back to this channel where I'm going to review my Z800. Well, so if you ask me where I'm heading to, I'm going to Sangvi, which is in Pune itself, to meet my friend Uday. So I thought of vlogging while riding. So what I'm trying to do is I'm going to talk about the Z800, which I bought last year. And let me tell you before I say that this is a used motorcycle which I bought for a very good deal. Alright, so I always wanted to own an inline 4 machine, and it was my long cherished dream, and I couldn't sleep at night, as I'm very sure that most of you don't, or didn't, or won't. So you can understand, this inline 4 symphony, how famous it is, and how much you are interested into it. I have owned single cylinder motorcycles in the past, so this is my first inline 4 machine. Right, so I was a bit confused. I wanted to upgrade. I had bought the Yamaha R15 V3, and within a year I thought of buying a next motorcycle. So money was a big problem, obviously. So what I thought, I started looking for other options. So I had, let's say, the Benelli 600i on my mind. I also have an Adventure 390, which is not an inline 4 machine, but I still like that bike very much. For touring purpose, it's an excellent machine. So as I said, Benelli was on my mind, and I definitely wanted to buy that. It looks and sounds very nice. So that is the only reason why I wanted to go for Benelli. But when I did my research in detail, I came to know that that is a little bit more expensive to maintain if anything goes wrong in the machine. So I didn't want to take that risk of buying the Benelli 600i. Right, so somehow I mustered the courage. I convinced my wife and my parents, of course, that I wanted to buy an inline 4 machine. So it was a kind of dream which I always wanted to dream of. So I started looking for that options, and suddenly, I came to know about the Z800. I mean, I was already aware of this bike, but right. So I was always aware of the Z800, but I thought that it was very expensive. Benelli 600i you can easily get for 4 lakh rupees, under 4 lakh rupees, and I always wanted to have an ABS on such motorcycles, on the motorcycle that I wanted to buy. So this was the best option I had on my mind. तिकडे का? $500 to $5,000. A Benelli 600i you can always buy for less than 4 lakh rupees, right? Between 4 to 5 lakh rupees. But a good Z800 you can easily get for 5 to 6 lakh rupees. Right, so this is, my dear friend, this is a very nice motorcycle. It is very scary sometimes, but it is not difficult to manage. Yes, so as far as service is concerned, it is not going to be that difficult, let me tell you. I serviced it on my own. My friend Uday and I serviced it. So what we both did, we bought the oil filter and the engine oil, and we changed both of them completely. So yes, I did the servicing at home, and let me tell you that even if you do it from a proper showroom or a proper service center, they won't charge you more than 8 to 10,000 rupees. In such traffic you can easily maneuver it, but let's say if there is bumper to bumper traffic, then it is very heavy. Yes, so this is a drawback of this motorcycle. This is a very heavy motorcycle. And by the way, I have changed, I had installed the race fit exhaust, but I have changed it and I am using the stock exhaust, because in the city sometimes it becomes very loud because of police. I have to be very careful, and then because of that I have to ride it very slowly. But yes, even the stock exhaust is quite nice. It's very smooth, it feels very smooth, so that's not a problem. Well, so let me tell you the mileage of this bike. I easily get 17 kilometers of mileage. So the weight is 230 kilo. So it is quite a heavy motorcycle. Very smooth, very, very, very smooth. You really have to practice a lot on this bike. See, I have got 4 motorcycles in my garage right now. And what happens generally, I cannot all the time take it out. So sometimes I forget. I don't get used to riding it. So I really have to practice. I have been riding this bike for the last 1 week, so I have got used to it. But let's say if I'm taking it out after a week, then I feel it now. I feel it new. Alright, and one more good point about this bike is you don't have to shift gears regularly. Yes, now see, I'm riding it in 6th gear and I'm maintaining the speed of 35 kilometers per hour. Can you imagine that? Can you imagine that? A 800cc motorcycle you can ride in 6th gear for the speed of 35 kilometers per hour in the city. As far as the clutch is concerned, it's on a heavier side, but as I said, you don't have to shift the gears regularly, so that is not a problem at all. So it is not light, the clutch is not at all light. Right, the temperature. If you're riding it in a bumper to bumper traffic, the temperature rises. So right now the temperature is 101. But of course, let me tell you, compared to other motorcycles, you don't really feel the heat. I really don't feel the heat. If I have to compare it to even the RC390, you can feel the heat on RC390, but on the Z800, you don't really feel the heat to your legs. So that's a good point about this bike. The brakes could have been better, because let's say if I'm riding it fast, and you always have this kind of fear on my mind that if somebody comes in between, I won't be able to control it properly. And this is how you can ride, man. The suspensions are very nice. They absorb the bumps quite effectively. So yes, there is no jerk at all. So most of the things about this motorcycle are on a positive side. Negatives, as I said, the weight, the brakes, and I can't think anything else apart from these negative points. If you really want to buy a super bike, you can go ahead with the Z800. or a Z800. You can definitely go ahead with a Z800. That is very easy to maintain. I really don't have to spend a lot of money apart from petrol, fuel in it, but that is also manageable. See, right now the mileage which I'm getting is 17.5. Isn't it good? Another thing, wind blast. Yeah, so that is that cannot be a complaint, by the way. This is a naked motorcycle and you cannot complain about it. So the wind blast is so high that it becomes difficult to maintain high speed. You literally have to tuck down, and that's the reason why, you know, I have installed this windshield, aftermarket windshield. So to certain extent it controls the wind blast, but it is not that helpful. Let me be very clear about it. So you literally have to you know, tuck down to maintain the high speed on it, but that's fine. That is absolutely fine. This is after all not a sporty motorcycle, not a faired motorcycle. Okay, so there is one more negative point about this bike, that is the headlights. They are not at all effective, and you know, it becomes a little bit difficult at night to ride it fast. You can definitely buy this bike no matter with whether it's first hand, second hand, or even the third hand. Yes, I'm saying that with confidence. As far as the engine is concerned, I don't think there will be any problems. As far as engine is concerned, it's quite smooth, it's reliable. I don't think there will be any issue until and unless you don't respect the engine and this bike. I don't really want to rev it high just to listen to the sound. I do it sometimes, but not regularly. This is how you can ride it. So on any gear, so let's say, you know, as I said earlier, if you're riding it at the speed of 35 kilometers per hour in 6th gear, from there you can pull it very nicely to more than 200 kilometers per hour. And by the way, I haven't enjoyed this bike to the fullest. It has got that much of juice in it. On Indian highways, it is difficult, especially the highways which are nearby Pune. So there is one highway called Pune Solapur highway. So that is quite nice. The turning radius on this bike is very small. And whenever, you know, I'll give you this piece of advice: whenever you want to take a U-turn, make sure that your foot is down, or both the feet are down. Yes, because of the heavy weight and the low turning radius, you know, there are chances of falling down. By the way, today is 7th August 2022. And it's a friendship day. So happy friendship day to all of you. In the first gear, you can pull this motorcycle to 110 kilometers per hour. And you can ride it as slow as 100 and I'm sorry, just 35 kilometers per hour. It's wet. The road is wet. months when I bought this bike, I desperately felt the need of traction control on it. But because of wet roads, you know, the tire really spins if you're not used to this bike. If you're a new rider and if you're trying to corner it, it won't give you that kind of confidence. But if you get used to it, then this can be a good cornering bike. Only probably experts can do cornering on it. That's what I feel. Am I missing inline 4 Symphony? Not at all. I have the exhaust. I can change it any time possible, whenever I want it. So I'm not at all worried. I'm enjoying the silence symphony. Look, it is still very loud. Alright, so what I have done is I have removed this windshield. Now it is looking more aggressive. You can look from this side, this angle. So that's Uday's KTM 390. That is an electric scooter which he has bought recently. This is his passion, and this is his Ace 200. Well, so the previous owner has painted the wheels, alloy wheels, to red. It is looking great. This is the profile from the back. So this is the tail light. This looks very good. So this is what happens. This is the brake light. So this is low beam and this is high beam. As I said, you know, it is not very powerful, but what I have done is now we removed this part and we tried to do the setting. But the problem is it did not work that much. What I'm going to do now is, like, at night I'm going to check if, you know, the setting is useful or not. So I'll now show you the exhaust note. Right. These are the tires that I have installed. Timson. This is yeah, 120 by 70 17. You can see here, and the rear one is 180 55 70. So yes, the company is Timson, as I said. The grip is not that great. We both are going for a short spin, and then I'll leave for my home. चल ये